Yeah, it's really nice. Look at the colour of the dappled light.
Look at the bottle brushes.
Oh, the Banksias.
Banksias.
Hey there. Welcome to this practice of Yoga and Qi Gong for sinus congestion. You might be here because you're a bit congested, feeling a little bit weary. Maybe you've had a bout of time in bed. You might be. This practice is really your permission to go gently. So if you're not ready for a little bit of mobilizing, a little bit of lymphatic drainage, maybe park this until you are ready. I know for a few days I just did some nice open-chested breathing. But if you're ready for this, maybe seat yourself in a chair, or maybe come and stand on a rock like I am. And Jules in the background over here, and she's going to practice along with us. And, you know, maybe even just give a little sway. Just give a little sway from side to side and have a look around your room, your world, your environment. Great. And then come into what feels like center and sink. Sink into your center point. Soften your knees a little. Tuck your tail a little. Create a little space through your chest. And notice what's happening for you. Notice where you feel a little tight, a little achy. Maybe notice how your energy levels are. So sense into your intention. What do you want to receive from this practice? How do you want to feel at the end of this practice? And then inhale your antennas, your fingertips out and around you and up. Taking a deep breath in. And then exhale that intention and that universal life force energy down and through this body. This energy body, this physical body. And then start to shake. Shake your fingers, your hands, and let that grow up your arms into your shoulders. And maybe soften your jaw and let your head kind of bobble around a little and bounce your knees. No need to lift the heels or anything, just kind of shaking and shaking, maybe looking around a little, breathing. And noticing the air that's moving into your nostrils, so the air that's moving in might feel a little cool. You might notice that your nostrils feel a little agitated. The sinus cavities are empty little kind of sockets in and around the nasal cavities, and they're part of our skull. So they're just empty little areas here and here. So we're going to attempt to drain some of that congestion from our bodies, our heads, now. All right, so continuing to shake a little. And then slowly coming to stillness and feeling that mobilization in your hands, in your fingertips, in your body. Notice what it feels like. Great. Now I'm going to mirror you. So I'm going to take my right hand across to the left side of my chest, just underneath the end of the collarbone. I'm going to tap. Tap, tap, tap into these lung 1 and 2 points. And then slowly I'm going to lift up that left arm and go under the armpit into heart 1, but also into all the little lymph nodes under my arm. You might feel slightly tender, but that's okay. That's okay. We're mobilizing that. And then what we're going to do is attempt to encourage drainage. So we're going to wash from lung 1 and 2 out to heart and then down the side of the body. And we'll do that 3 times. Encouraging that drainage. And then keeping that left arm up in the air, inhale, reach to the sky with your antennas. And then exhale, lean a little over to the right. Create a little space through that left lung, inflating left ribs as you breathe in and breathe out. Inhale, reach to the sky. And then exhale, really slowly lower your left arm down, noticing what that feels like. Good. And then shake again. Shake, shake, shake. Have a look around. We're always on the lookout for people coming. Alrighty. And then we're going to try the other side. So I'm going to take my left hand this time and I'm going to knock. And I'm not going to knock too hard because I've got a microphone under here. So knocking just underneath the end of the right collarbone with the left knuckle or left thumb. And then lift the armpit up and go underneath the armpit. Noticing this side, is it different to the other side? And you can do this for as long as you like. If you feel like you need a little longer, pause the video. And then let's try the drainage. So drain lung 1 and 2, heart 1, and down the sideways. A couple more times. Hopefully you're not hearing that in the microphone. Good, and then reach your right fingertips up. Inhale and then exhale, lean over to the left. And just kind of hang like a rag doll, letting the right ribs and the right lung inflate. Inhale, reach to the sky with those magnificent antennas, and then exhale and float your right arm slowly, slowly down. Beautiful bird sounds. Okay, so then let's come to large intestine 20. This is one that I mobilized a lot while I had this sinus congestion. So just either side of the flare of the nostril, there's a little divot, and rub that in circles, and you might get a bit of a runny nose, so you might want to have some tissues handy, and you might go one way and then reverse. And again, you can do this for as long or as short a time as you like. And what I found was just going up the outside edge of the nostrils felt really good too, just kind of clearing the passages and then coming back down. Great. Excellent. And then release and notice what that feels like in your head. It might create some space. So from here, we're going to do a little twisting, a little mobilizing of the spine. So if you've been a bit stagnant, this might feel really good. Turning and twisting, knees are soft. Make it easy. Again, looking around. And go slowly, or if you're feeling up to it, move a little more vigorously. You can do nice, strong twists or really easy, gentle twists. Great. For as long again, or as short as you like, and just start to slow that down a little. And then when you're ready, just nice and slowly receive what that feels like in your body. And here we go, sink the knees. Inhale, reaching our riding on the wind arms up in front, and then exhale. And float those hands and arms, fingers down, and maybe expand this a little. So pulling earth energy up through the kidney 1 points in the center of the upper part of your foot. Pulling energy from the earth, healing energy, inhaling and exhaling. One more of those, inhaling and exhaling, and then expanding that to include the sides of the body. Inhale, wild goose. And again, we can expand this movement by very gently lifting the expanse of our wings up a little higher on the inhale. And exhale, reaching our fingertips out and around us, releasing the congestion, the tightness, the achiness. A couple more times. Inhale. Maybe expanding a little more, and exhale. And one more. Maybe touching the backs of the hands and then exhaling and floating the arms, hands and fingers down and out. And then gradually begin to release the backs of the hands in toward one another. Inhale and lift your arms out, and at the same time turn your head to the right. That's your inhalation, and then exhale, turn your head back to center and float your hands, arms and fingers down. Again, inhaling, opening, this time turning your head to the left, broadening through the chest, exhaling, turning the head back to center and floating the hands lightly and easily down. Let's try this a couple more times. Inhale, opening up the lung meridian, turning the head to the right, exhaling. One more, inhale, turning the head to the left, exhale, and floating the hands down. Feel the ground below, the sky above, and then bring your hands into a mudra called Hakini Mudra, where we're touching on each finger pad and thumb pad with the corresponding finger and thumb. We're going to bring that in front of the lower dantian, so this low reserve deep in the abdomen, supplementing our energy with the energy of the universe, the earth, and our practice. Just take some slow breaths into your belly. And then lift this prism of Hakini Mudra up to the center of the chest, breathing into the middle dantian, sensing your chest, your lungs expanding out 360 degrees. And then lifting the Hakini up to in front of your face and feeling all of the light of your practice pouring into your sinus cavities. Inhaling and exhaling. And then gently float the mudra down, and let's finish with a beautiful and magnificent circle or shower of light. Inhaling and exhaling. Pausing to notice how your body, your mind, and your energy field feels right now. I hope you feel better soon. Thank you for taking the time to practice, and I hope you enjoyed being in the beautiful Tui forest. Wishing you well. If you enjoyed this, maybe like it, maybe comment below. What are you doing to help yourself through your congestion, your cold, your sinus? And we'll see you next time. Thanks so much for being here. Bye-bye for now. Yeah, we're going to continue our walk. I'm going to ask Jule a few questions about sinus and her experience of sinus. So Jule, tell me from your experience, but also from your practice and from living a life of 80 years so far.
Yes, well, I've suffered from sinus all my adult life, I would say. I've often taken medication to ease the discomfort, the pain, which I don't do anymore. And I attribute that to yoga and yoga breathing. And when I feel as if I might be getting a bit of sinus, I consciously flare my nostrils so I can inhale more oxygen. So I would sort of, I don't know, go like, and hold the breath and imagine the oxygen flowing around in all my sinuses. Even,
so you use visualization?
Yes, and
cool.
Even into like all sinuses here and these here, but the ones that cause me the most discomfort are there. But you know, I just don't seem to have it very often now. And as soon as I feel it coming on, I'll do the breathing or just up my exercise to oxygenate my body, and
cool.
It's so good.
Yeah. So what other practices have you found helpful? What about, do you do neti pot?
Occasionally, when it gets if it gets really bad, but these days I don't need to use it that often, but I will use it if.
What about foods that you avoid?
Yes, yes, definitely dairy. But
what about foods you include?
Well, I eat heaps of fruit and veg, combination of foods that don't aren't mucus forming, like dairy, cheese. I eat very little cheese. I don't have much milk either, really. And the cheese that I have would be something like that's not creamy, like Parmesan or something like that.
Okay. Anything else you want to say about sinus that might be helpful to our...
Yes, I'd say certainly sinus, I definitely relate to emotion. So that is all part of it, I think.
Yeah.
Emotional sinus.
I think we were talking about this this earlier. Jule and I I'll come around here now. Maybe, hopefully, I'll get us both in here. Jule and I were talking about this earlier, and I was saying that when I get sinus, or just before I get a cold, often what I notice is I've got so much going on in my mind, and I'm feeling quite frazzled. And I know Louise Hay talks about that. Sinus, she says that it's being irritated by someone close by. That makes sense sometimes. Not Jule, though. I'm not annoyed with Jule. And
I'm the same.
Yeah, and the cold thing, Louise Hay says, it's about too much mental activity.
Yeah,
Does that
definitely
ring true?
Yes, and that feeling annoyed with somebody.
Yeah.
So if you can, it's like having to deal with your emotions about that to heal the sinus. So
So our practices are just that, they're practices. And we're living in real world, we're living with real life human emotions that are sometimes really challenging to navigate. So anyway, we wish you well this fine, well, we've got a fine winter's day, magnificent day here in Toohey Forest, and hope you're feeling better soon, and we'll see you later. Any affirmations that you've got for...
No, I can't think of anything right now.
I think I've got one. Clarity, peace and calm are within me and around me all the time. I just need to tune in. I just need to take the time to feel that calm and that clarity. And that's as simple as taking a breath. All right, well.
Sounds good to me.
Cheers.
Bye.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.